All right, we talked about it a lot this week. It ended up coming up in the first segment. The idea of Cincinnati. My argument to avoid Cincinnati is most of the pool is going to get them, but there are 3 spots where right now they're favored by more than a touchdown. In 2 weeks, they host the Commanders. In the middle of the season, they host the Raiders. Late in the season, they host the Broncos. Oh, by the way, they also go to Carolina and they play Pittsburgh, who I kind of think is going to stink this year. It is a soft schedule for the Bengals, and there are a lot of opportunities to take the Bengals when the majority of the remaining pool will have already used the Bengals. So that will put you in a nice spot if you don't use them this week, if you use them in a couple weeks, if you use them mid-season or even later in the season somehow.
It will not happen for me week 1. You sort of started to make the case, well, what if I have 6 entries?
Yeah.
If you feel like taking Cincinnati early, I'm obviously not going to stop you. I'm not going to show up to your house and beat you up. If you want to take Cincinnati, go for it. I will not. I'm in, let's see, 5 pools now because I'm going to join yours and take the Titans. I've convinced myself that I have to do that now. I have to. I've talked about it for
No,
2
you
weeks.
you don't have to. No, you
I
really
have to.
don't. You
No, I
don't
have
have to
to.
take a 4-point underdog week 1.
I have to. I'm joining your, what do you call it? The rich people league or the king
Oh,
league? What do you call it?
they told me to call it the high roller. Yeah, we can do a high
High
roller
roller
league.
league. Yes,
Yes.
I'll be joining the high roller league. I promise. And I am taking Caleb Williams and putting him 6 feet under in your league. It has to
Yes.
happen. It will happen. As for the other entries that I'm taking seriously, I am torn between, do I go to Seattle, to Tampa? Do I go 3 Tampa, 1 Seattle? That's my combo right now. I want a blizzard, extra large, with Seahawks and Buccaneers. I just haven't figured out the mix yet.
Oh man, we're talking too much. I get what you're saying. By the way, yeah, you can join those pools if you want. Just go to Splash Sports. I tweeted out the link at Joe Ostrowski as well. Okay, so here's what I found easiest to do. Let's quickly knock this out. There are a bunch of no's. I took a look at all the no's, games that have a point spread of more than a field goal, and tell me if you disagree with any of them. I'm a no on Chicago. You are too. You're only thinking about the underdog. Absolutely not. Rookie quarterback, all the pressure in the world. Let me see it first. I'm a no there. New Orleans, Carolina. That's a 4-point line. I'm a no. Ton of sharp money on Carolina. Divisional matchup. People are expecting it's the same Panthers team as last year. I'm not buying the Saints at all. That's a no. Yes, I think Detroit's probably going to win. I feel good about them winning. But why do I want to go against Stafford coming back home? Why do I want to go against McVay with an entire offseason to prepare? Not interested in that. San Francisco, 4.5. That's a no. With a lot of the turmoil they've been dealing with Ayuk and Trent Williams, and he's just jumping back in. Those were some immediate no's. And another one that is not going to make my card, even though the line is almost a touchdown, is we are buying what the Arizona Cardinals are building. And I'm unsure about it. So I want to see what the defense looks like. The Bills might be sliding back a little bit as far as that division goes. So I don't want to take them against an up and coming team. I'll take them at home in another week. So those were a lot of the ones I crossed off. Do you disagree with any of them?
No, I have no on 13 games. So
Yeah.
I'm no all over. The first no for me was Cincy, and that's not going to be what people want to hear because a lot of people are going to take Cincy. Again, you want to do that, that's fine. I was an instant no on these teams. Miami at home,
Yeah.
-3.5 against Jacksonville. That was a no. Buffalo is a no for me because defensively they have a lot of issues. Milano, the linebacker, is out. They have some big concerns in the secondary. Buffalo was a no. Houston is another gang no. And what I mean by gang no is a lot of people are going to take Houston. I'm avoiding the pitchfork crew with the sticks on fire. You can see it. You can visualize it from The Simpsons when they come toward Homer's house and they're all carrying pitchforks and fiery sticks.
Mm-hmm.
That was a no. Also, Cleveland is a no for me. I might end up on Dallas and teasers +8.5. That's a very short home favorite. Cleveland -2.5. I But you know how I am. I start crossing things off before I start circling.
Yep.
So of all the games, I probably knocked out 10 or 11 right away, including games like Pittsburgh, Atlanta, no chance. Minnesota, New York, barf.
No.
I mean,
No.
Philly and Green Bay is a good game, but I could make a case for either side. I mean, would you be surprised if Green Bay or Philly won? I wouldn't. I'm not taking the opener, Kansas City or Baltimore. So there were instant cross ups for me. And the two that I really like are Tampa. Tampa, I think that line should be closer to 7, honestly. Now, it would never be 7 because then you'd write sharp money on Washington plus the 7. But I think the true number is much higher than 3.5. And again, there's a
Yeah.
difference between making a number and booking a number. You would never open Tampa 7 because you would just write money on Washington. This is starting to float though. The threes are starting to go to 3.5, and Washington secondary is a problem. You also have a rookie quarterback, Jaden Daniels, making his first start on the road, and we saw the stat. Your old buddy John Roy. Remember John Roy from Chicago? A legend, a legend of a chicken
Yes.
dinner listener. No, he did tweet at us. The
I
quarterbacks
know.
drafted number 1 overall. Now, this is to my Caleb point, not to Jaden Daniels.
Mhm.
Quarterbacks drafted number 1 overall, according to Covers, are winless in their first start since 2002. 0-14-1. You want to take Chicago? Good luck.
Well, I think you can point to Stroud a little bit. Let's talk about him. Unbelievable first year. Oh my God, this guy's going to go to be. He's going to be an MVP. He's going to be a Hall of Famer. Texans are going to win the Super Bowl. It's all going to happen. He lost his first game last year too. Fading rookie quarterbacks is a very popular move among the pros, and I certainly understand. They're usually getting points. The more and more we talk about Tampa Bay, Washington, that number feels short,
Mm-hmm.
doesn't it? With the experience, Todd Bowles against a rookie quarterback, what he's going to dial up in the defensive side and all the receivers that they have against the pathetic Commanders defense that we saw last season. Man, like I can buy into Washington having some upside this season, but is it going to happen in week 1 with a rookie quarterback? I don't know about that. That makes sense to me. That Tampa number, the more and more we talk about that game, I like it. Seattle's my favorite survivor play of the week, and it's really not all that close. Like, I don't like putting multiple picks on the same team, but if I were to do that this week, Seattle would be my case. And I was looking at the Seahawks schedule. This might be the spot where they are favored the most all season. So you also have that angle. They're at home, tough road spot for a rookie quarterback, don't have much talent with the Broncos, certainly not on offense. So Mike McDonald, I think he's gonna have his team ready to go, and I can't wait to see what he ends up doing with that defense. I'm worried maybe we're a little high on the Seahawks with everything new there, but there's a reason this thing has moved to 6.
I have Denver as the lowest power rated team in the NFL. So it is what it is at
Yep.
this point. I sort of apologize to you because I know you wanted to talk this up and get there at the end. I came right out
Mm,
of the gate and said, "See you, Hawks." Like
no.
I didn't build it up to the volcano. I'm Seattle and Tampa, and I told you I've got the 4 entries. I've got a couple in Vegas. I've got a couple here. Um, I will definitely shake it up between 2 teams. I'm really liking Tampa though. And that's a team that I
Yep.
probably won't pick a lot. In the division, anything can happen from time to time. So there are going to be some games with the Saints and some games with the Panthers that are going to be a little wonky. But in terms of being at home against a rookie at quarterback in Daniels, I like that a lot. And Bo Nix, his first start going into the 12th man in Seattle, not ideal. I'm going against the Rooks early. So I'm going against Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels. And in your rich people league, I will go against Caleb Williams.
We are in Circa. We each have multiple spots in Circa, which costs a lot more money. The
I think it's
Bengals.
funnier to say that you have a rich people league, though. It's very funny.
That one's a single entry, which I find interesting. I think that's intriguing for a lot of people because a lot of them people grabbing 10 spots, and you have such a big advantage over others when you can have 10, 15 entries in a pool. Cincinnati ankle. One more thing I wanted to add that I'm kind of talking myself into, even where I have 3, 4 spots, I'm going to take 0. Slow starts. They made a big deal about that in the offseason. We're going to play more in the preseason. We've got to be ready to go. Here's why. And this is not a Burrow injured thing at all, because over the first 2 games, he's been healthy every year. Last year, with Burrow, they start 0-2. 2022, they start 0-2. 2021, they win 1 game. They go 1-1 in the first 2 games. 2020, they start 0-2. The third game was a tie. In the last 4 years, all 8 games with Burrow in weeks 1 and 2, they are 1-7 straight up. The Bengals are. What is with these starts? They're tougher teams than New England Patriots, but still, you would think with Burrow under center, you'd be at least 500, and they've been awful.
Can you repeat that stat one more time, the record, please?
Weeks 1 and 2, over the last 4 years, all 8 games with Joe Burrow under center, the Cincinnati Bengals are 1-7 straight up.
And you still want to put them in Survivor, don't you,
No,
boys and girls?
yeah, I don't.
Not
I'm
you.
talking.
Not
Yeah,
you. I'm telling you, we're going to look up on Sunday when the picks are locked and it's going to be, 65% Cincinnati, 70% Cincinnati. It's going to happen. They probably
I know.
win, which is good for them, but they burn a great team and they take a chance at being one of many, many, many people being purged early.